No, oi. What's going on? What's going on?
Trying to push past me because I've asked him to put on a mask.
Well, he's exempt.
He's not exempt.
He is exempt. I know he's exempt.
So why ain't he showing me that then?
Because he doesn't have to. Excuse me, he doesn't have to show you any exemption.
Is there any police around, please?
He doesn't have to show you an exemption.
Listen.
He does
He's
not
not.
have to show you an exemption by law.
I've asked him.
He does not have to. Can you hold that, please? No, don't put the...
Yeah, I've got
No, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to.
Under private property, the shops and refusers. Under private property, the shops and
If he's got an exemption, he's got an exemption.
They put a thing out there saying private property.
No, the law states in 2010 Equalities Act, you don't have to wear a mask, you're exempt.
I took out in the news the other day, they've done this with it at the moment.
No, the law states in 2010 Equalities Act, you don't have to have a lanyard, and you do not have to even, you don't even have to say you're exempt. It's against the law to even ask. And it's definitely not right for you to get physical. That's right.
Yeah, because it's in earshot to realise that it's very doesn't deal with things that definitely not care.
I've been assaulted, I have.
I don't think you care, it's just showing that it's been assaulted. Like I said, I've got it on 360, you're more than welcome to have it. Yeah, that'd be fine, thank you very much.
Have some flowers from me, mate.
Right, don't touch me, alright? I don't want to
Right.
Go away.
You just pushed me to the floor.
We'll go. Come on, go into your shopping. Just for the record, he doesn't need to show an
Yeah, the
exemption.
guy's still proceeding to go through the store without a mask on. Can I just explain the company policy?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, boys, we are on the radio this week.
So, when people come through here,
Yeah.
we are asked if he's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
He said no,
Right.
doesn't have to. I've asked him for an exemption card and he's still saying no. So therefore, if you're not going to comply with the company policies, no mask, no entry.
Right. Well, we don't have a
Policy
mask,
doesn't supersede the law.
and we have an
The law-
exemption,
okay.
but we do not need to prove an exemption.
When a company policy, the governments don't write the policies.
Right.
So
the law
states,
supersedes policies.
Yeah.
right, so
The
it is a
law.
policy.
The law.
It's Morrison's policy, it was all over the radio,
No.
news.
Morrison's policy
When all these
is.
come here, I'll let them explain it to
Well,
you.
Morrison's
I'd like you to
policy
explain it.
is
I'll
that
need them to
if you
explain
do
it.
not
That's not
have,
wrong.
if you
I
have an
know what I
exemption,
say.
right?
Okay.
Morrison's policy is if you have an exemption, you do not have to prove.
Has the gentleman shown me an exemption card?
Right, he doesn't have to. By law,
Right,
he does
okay.
not have to.
If you're not
He's
prepared
told
to
you
show
he's
an
exempt.
exemption
No.
card, then you have to wear a
No.
mask.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name's Richard.
Richard. Where's your tag? Where's
You
your?
don't need to see my tag. You
Why
can't
do I
ask
not
me for
need
my
to see your tag?
You're not allowed to.
Really? You
Yeah.
don't need to see my exemption card either. It's the
Listen,
law.
We've asked for an exemption
Yeah,
card, you haven't got one. So therefore, has to wear a
No,
mask.
he doesn't.
Yes, he
No,
does.
he doesn't.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Have you got that on camera, him pressing him to the floor?
Yeah. Now, have I got what's the data in here like? Huh? Yes, he's gone.
A little bit of abuse of power, I think.
Where's
So what I think I'll do is just can you try to mention you want to
asked me if I'm exempt, just said I've got to wear a mask in this store. Have you got that?
We've got that, but he's obviously walked into the store anyway. He's gone walking or having to try and get back in.
No, the guy's not violent at all. He doesn't understand the policy of the Morrisons and the policy of wearing no mask.
Unbelievable.
I don't think you understand the policy either.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to get out things to you, not being violent.
Exactly.
I think it's more to explain the policy.
No, I
because
think you need to
I've
go
got
and
this
find out what
gentleman
the.
here and
Can you
another
get your
lady here that
manager?
doesn't understand the policy of no mask, no entry.
You're going to lose your job tomorrow.
Yeah, the thing is,
I won't be.
What?
No, because you didn't ask me if I did. If you pushed me, you assaulted
You
me.
don't have to have people in your store.
Thank you very much. Did you hear that?
Sorry?
Private property. But the police might not attend because it's not being violent or threatening you.
Yeah, I don't think customers understand the contents of private property so that we can enforce the
You are
policy.
providing a public service.
Yeah, we see that. We pass it on to the police.
Yeah, that's the only issue. They don't understand that it's private property. so
No,
our
but you are
policies
providing a
can
public.
lawfully-
You are providing a public service.
Never explained to me how my exempt are.
Okay, we don't understand what the police just said. We're on private property.
But you are
So
providing a
therefore,
public service. I
we
have
can
all the
place- that's
legislation
fine.
here.
Yeah, but your legislation is not company policy.
You are providing a public
Okay.
service, so you are
So-
discriminating
Okay.
against
No,
a
I'm not.
disability. You are.
Listen.
And if he tells you
The
he's
police have
exempt,
just said to you on the radio, which you've heard loud and clear, it's private property. Whatever policies we have in place are law abiding.
no, they're not law
Well, that's it.
abiding.
No, they're not.
They're
Well,
not
that's
law
the police that
abiding.
have said it. Okay,
They're
just
not
so
law
that customers
abiding.
can
I'm going to
understand.
say to the police coming,
The
because
police
you
are
need
not
to learn
coming.
what
The
you've
police
just
are not
done is
coming.
assaulted him. You have no
haven't
right to put
assaulted
your
him
hands
on
on him.
property,
You had him
okay.
on the floor.
No.
The police are
Right?
not coming.
I just watched
He
him myself. I
felt
just
he
walked through the
himself.
door and see you on
No.
top of him on the floor.
No,
This is not over when you knocked him about.
No, he tried forcing his way back into the shop.
He wanted
which
to come
therefore,
in.
I mean,
No.
every right, legal
Listen.
right, to prevent you from doing that.
He could have special
So there you go.
needs, okay? And you're treating
Listen.
him, when he told you he's
Okay.
exempt, you
He
didn't even
didn't.
give...
He didn't.
But he's exempt.
Okay. He did
and you
not tell me
still
at any stage that
did
he was
not-
exempt.
You did
All
not.
he
You
said-
were
all he
grabbing
said-
him there.
I said to you.
You have no right to touch
You
him.
never asked me.
I said to you, is there
You
any
have
reason why you're
no
not
right
wearing a
to
mask?
touch
And your
him.
answer was no.
Do you know why you have no
That's
right
why I
to
stopped
touch
you
him?
there, wasn't it?
You stopped him
Right.
coming in. You
So
grabbed
you could
him.
have saved this whole issue
No.
just by saying that.
You touching him
So
was
am I allowed
assault.
to shop in here then?
You're on private property.
No,
I'm
you're
allowed-
providing a
listen,
public
you're not.
service.
If I've asked any customer in this shop,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
to remove themselves from the store, if they do not, I'm
You
allowed
have
to
no
use
right.
force.
He has not committed
Yes,
a
I do.
crime.
Yes, I
He
do.
did not commit a
me and
crime.
you right now. If
Right.
anything me and you,
So,
you're wearing a
the
vision,
thing
I'm
is-
not. You've
right.
got no power over no one like
No,
I.
you have no right to touch
That
him.
means nothing.
Okay,
You're
this-
not a law
listen.
officer.
Listen.
Yeah, and we by the law in this country, not
Okay.
by security cards,
I-
employed by a
doesn't matter about my
franchise. Yeah,
security card.
it doesn't supersede the
Okay.
law of the land, does it?
Okay, I'm governed by the SIA, so I know my rights with my license.
You're not allowed
I'm
to
fully
touch
aware
him.
of my rights.
You're not allowed to touch
If
him.
Clearly you're not.
Listen, if you're refusing to move from this store, which is private property, I'm allowed to use force.
Only if he's
Once I've
committed
told
a
you that I
crime.
want you to leave. If you're still going to refuse,
You've,
I can use
he's
force to do
he's
that.
done nothing.
Which is called justified
He has
force.
done
Well, like I say, I
nothing.
just walked in seeing you roughing him
Yeah.
up. I don't
So
know
you
the
haven't
cases
seen
what
the
happened
whole
before,
thing. This
but
is
that's what I'm
my
saying.
point.
I just seen you physically throwing him around, right? And
Okay.
at the end of the day, me and you are no
Right.
different. We haven't
I'll tell
got
you how
power of
it's
the law. The
happened.
police officer
So-
can do whatever they do because
Okay.
they work for, they
Right, when the
enforce
police
the law.
come here, they're going to tell you I've got every right to do what I've just done.
Right,
Well,
cool,
we'll
so-
see
Yeah,
because
you're private property.
this
It's
is
open
yeah,
to
but
the
you're
public.
providing
Yes,
a
it's
public
private property.
service.
This is what I'm here for, to prevent theft, to prevent anything like this happening. It's my job to stand here to enforce the no mask, no entry.
No, not
That's-
really,
yes, it is.
because it's actually not law. It's just legislation.
Okay,
It's
do you
not
want
a
to have a look at
crime.
all our signs?
Yeah, if
This
you
is what
have
customers
an
are not getting.
exemption, you do not have to
Okay.
prove it.
Okay, listen.
And I think that's where you're wrong.
Okay, when you come
Where's
into
your
this
manager?
store, when you come into this store,
Where's your manager?
we ask for exemption cards.
Yeah, right,
No,
that's basically
no,
it.
where's your
To-
manager?
To separate you
Where is
from
your
all the
manager?
rest. So your manager's going to tell you the same. We like you to wear exemption cards. If you're stopped and questioned, then yes,
Well, the law
you show the
states that
exemption
you don't
cards.
legally have to provide the exemption or even
Okay.
ask that question.
Okay.
Do you understand the law?
Listen,
Right.
I understand it very well, but I
Right.
also
Well, clearly
understand
you
here.
don't because you
No.
would have done what you just did.
Right.
He
He's-
doesn't have to
okay.
disclose his invisible disabilities.
Okay. He didn't say
That
nothing
is
about
private.
disability.
You understand?
This is
That
what I'm
is
trying to explain
private
to you. Okay,
between
listen.
him and his
Forget the
doctor.
disability part because this is where you are unclear of what's happened.
No, I think you are.
You've turned up right at
He
the end of
doesn't
this. You
need
don't
to.
know what's happened, and this is the
Well.
issue here. So the guy's come in. I've asked him, did he have a mask? He said no. I've asked him, is he exempt? He said no. Then continue to walk past me. I've
Did you
stopped him
say you're
through the
exempt? You're not
barriers.
exempt? No, you didn't. You did not say you're not exempt.
I didn't say it. I said
Right.
I haven't got a mask, and you said, can I
Okay.
go and get a mask?
So I
I said,
said
no, I'm
to
not
you-
going to go and get a mask.
Thank you. So this
I
is where
said,
it's all
I'm going to go and
happened.
get a mask.
So I'm not the one that's in the wrong. I've asked the right questions. It's this gentleman here that said no to everything. So I stopped him as he's gone through the barriers, and I said, "Can you come back to the front to get a mask?" Then he said no.
It still doesn't change the fact the quality is
So,
at 2010
so he
don't
said
have to
no.
wear a lanyard.
Right, I'm just trying to
That's
point
your-
out here.
That's your choice.
Okay.
And
Okay,
you have
listen.
no legal right to ask
Right,
him
sir.
that question. That's
I've
the
got
law,
you,
yeah?
and I've got this lady here that doesn't even know the situation. I've explained.
I do
from the
know, I
beginning.
saw him come
He said,
in.
yeah, that's all you've seen.
Right,
That's
so
all you've seen.
if he comes in and he
so
doesn't
far
want to
in the
wear a
story-
mask,
so
I
far
just
in the story,
right?
you've
So
seen that I am not in the
if
wrong
he
so
comes
far.
in and says,
all I've done
all I
is
saw was you
justified.
right,
fucking on the floor.
hold on a
Why
minute.
this is all on the
If
floor,
he comes
So I've
in,
asked him to
Yeah, you
remove
see the
himself.
chair knocked off the top
I've
side of
asked
the
him to
table.
remove himself from the store. He's refused.
right? If he comes in,
So I asked him again to remove himself to go and get
On
a
what
mask.
grounds?
He said no.
On what grounds
so
are you
that's
removing
where
him?
I've used force.
on what grounds
Right.
are you removing him?
Pardon?
On what grounds did you ask him
Okay.
to
Removing him,
remove
I'll tell you
himself?
what grounds, because he refused to wear a mask, and our policy states no mask, no entry.
Right, so then that gives you the right to assault him, to put
It's
your
not an
hands
assault,
on it,
it's
to
using
put your
justified
hands
force
on
because
him.
he
There's no
refused to leave the
justified because he
premises.
did not commit a
Okay,
crime.
you're not getting it. It's
he did not
justified
commit
force
a
because
crime.
he's refused to leave the premises.
You need to
Justified
phone the
force
police,
enforcing
and the
something that
police
you've got no
deal
power
with
to
it.
enforce
You
because he
actually
hasn't
have
broken
no
the law.
right to
Listen,
touch
while he's
him.
on this property, we go by a no mask, no entry.
Yeah, and you call the police.
That's down from exactly, and the police are on my side.
But you
as
have
just
no
heard.
right to touch him.
I've done nothing wrong.
You touched him. You
That's
assaulted him.
justified force.
me to leave.
You can only ask him to leave. You're not allowed to touch
Did you, or
him.
did you not refuse to leave?
It doesn't matter, even
Thank
if he
you.
walked
So that's
in.
where my role
Yeah,
comes
but
in.
even
That's
if he
where I do
walked
have
in,
the
he
power.
didn't commit a crime.
Okay, he's refused. Yes, I do. And when the police come, they will tell you that, and they will tell you that I am not in the wrong.
We'll see.
I know what I'm allowed to do.
Okay, we'll see.
So
What
when
is
they
your?
come, you'll be refreshed on what.
They're not coming. They've already told you they're not coming.
No, they're going to try and get a unit here, so you can wait as long as you want.
Well, I'm not waiting 2 hours because they've told you already they're not coming.
But I'm not in the wrong.
You know, if they said,
If you're
well,
gonna
they
refuse to
don't
leave the
think,
premises,
they
you
said
have
to
the right
you
to
on the
remove myself.
phone, he did not assault you,
Exactly.
he was not violent,
He's
so
not
that's
aggressive.
why they're not
Exactly.
coming. They said that.
Listen, it's you guys that are standing here and arguing with me. Like I said to you, I'm in the right, and I know what I
No,
can
you
do.
think you're in the right.
You
Okay,
think
well,
you're
if
in
I was
the
in
right.
the wrong,
I disagree
no.
with everything you're saying. At the end of the day,
Okay.
Anyway.
I've just
Okay.
witnessed you put hands on him, thrown him to the floor, which was
I did throw
more
him to
than
the floor.
that was not justified behaviour.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, he's
I did
coming.
throw
He's
him
not.
to the floor.
You did. You had him
No,
on the floor.
he
and
stumbled
on top
to
of
the
him.
floor.
He come in. There was no aggression. This man.
No.
I don't know this man.
No.
I clearly see he's a
Okay.
calm, collected person. And what
Okay.
he done was
Yeah.
physical force. And it was
Okay.
unjustified.
It's
He wasn't
not
effing and
physical,
jeffing or
it's justified
he wasn't
force.
being in any way aggressive.
Okay.
Everybody saw it. You
Okay.
just lumped him to the floor. That's the way
I didn't
everything
throw him
is
to the
not
floor.
popping on the floor, isn't
I didn't
it?
throw him to the floor.
Yes, you did. I
Okay.
walked in and watched you do
Okay.
it.
Anyway.
Listen. At the point where it went wrong is when he tried to force entry back into the store.
Yeah, and you put your hands on him.
Exactly.
You're not
Because I've asked
allowed.
him to leave.
You're not
If
allowed.
force entry into the store,
He
I'm
didn't
within
commit
the
a
right to
crime.
use that.
He did not commit a
Justified
crime.
force.
You are not allowed to touch
Okay.
him.
When you were asked to leave the
I didn't
store,
try to get back into the store.
you was right at the exit. You
Yeah,
forced your way back.
Yeah, you was pushing. You was pushing
I was
me
pushing
out.
you that way. You pushed
Yeah.
yourself this
Can we
way.
have the manager here?
I was going like that.
Exactly. Refusing to leave.
Where is the manager? Why isn't the manager
I was
here?
gonna leave.
Why hasn't the manager
On my
come
own
down?
street. You didn't give me a chance.
You wasn't leaving on your own.
Why hasn't the manager come down? Why hasn't the manager come down?
What, you want to manager?
I want the manager, yeah.
Okay, so request one and I'll get one for you.
I thought he'd be down here already.
Ayla, the customers would like to have a verbal view of
Well,
your...
interesting.
You right?
Are you the manager?
We're both managers. I was at the front the whole time when the gentleman walked in.
Well, you just said you're not the manager. Where's the manager?
We are managers.
You-
This is not a manager. I said, would you like to speak to her?
I thought you were here. So let's get this right. You're saying that people are not allowed in, even though they say they're exempt.
They have to,
If they not, no, they don't.
they do it in this store
Right.
with this company because it's private property.
Right.
We're not allowed to ask what they're exempt for. We just have to have proof.
You have to have proof.
Yes.
don't have to
and-
prove.
They don't have
Yes,
to
and
prove.
it's as simple as is the
That's the
little
law.
card.
Okay, what's your name?
My name's Ayla. AYLA.
Ayla.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm going to be contacting Morrison's because your policy here is wrong. You're providing a public service. Nobody has the right to ask for proof of exemption because it is against the data protection. I can show you everything here. I have all the documents. Do you want to see them?
No, that's fine because I know our policy.
Right, okay, that's fine. So that's fine.
I do security
All right,
as well,
let's...
so don't talk to me like
I've
that.
got
What you're
names.
talking about.
15 years.
Yeah, so
I've
I've
got
been doing it
names.
longer than that. I've
Let's
been on the
go.
doors and I've been
Okay.
security.
So therefore you
yeah,
will know
I
what
do
I'm-
know,
I'm
but at the end of the day,
talking
when I was just witnessing that gentleman, and it was not in any way form being aggressive.
Don't
It
say
was birthday,
you-
attack,
I've got the same policy as us.
No, you're wrong. You're actually very wrong. That's fine. I'll be contacting Morrison's because you do not have to provide any proof of exemption because it's actually against data protection. It is actually against the data protection.
And he understands what he's saying.
No, that's fine.
He
That's fine.
understands
That's
what I've
fine.
asked him to do. He's
Right.
not drunk, is he?
We need to go. We need to go because I've got everything I need now, and I'm going to write to Morrison's. So because it's against policy what you're doing here.
Sorry, but policy doesn't supersede
No,
the law.
it doesn't.
I wish there was a copper here actually, because at the end of the day, they can enforce the law.
You are still providing a public service.
No disrespect to this gentleman, yeah.
Right? So, and you are still discriminating against the Disability Act. He is. No, he's told you he's exempt.
No, he did not. No, he
Right.
did not. He's already admitted that.
But I've just asked this lady, and I've said, if I'm exempt...
The gentleman here has already admitted to you that he did not say he
Right,
was exempt.
I've just asked this
So he
lady,
could have saved this whole
okay?
issue.
That's fine, I've just asked this
It's not,
lady...
because you're making me out to be the bad person.
No, but you said he has to prove exemption.
That's what the manager
No,
said.
and this is where this is wrong. He does not have to
You're
prove
on private
exemption.
property.
But also, you shouldn't have
You're on
touched
private
it.
property.
But no, it doesn't matter because you're providing a public
And I
service.
think that's where you need to look
Okay,
at.
that's fine. I'm going to deal with that.
Okay, we are told to enforce this,
No, you're told to ask. You're told to ask, and then
and anyone who refuses is refused entry.
that's if they refuse
is
to wear a
literally
mask,
a sign out the
but you
public
have
sector.
no right to ask them for proof. That's the difference.
Yes, please.
I do not have.
Anyone can just walk in and
If
say,
you
"I'm
you
exempt."
can ask them. You say, "Where's your mask?" And if they say no, then you can say, "Well, you can't come in." But by law, you are not allowed to ask for proof of exemption.
Yes.
Right?
He's come
First
into
of
the store.
all,
Can I just explain?
yeah, you do your
So he's come
explanation.
into the store, he's got to about here. I've asked him, does he have a mask? He said no. I said to him, would you like to go back to the table and get a mask, please? He said no. I said, are you exempt? He said no. I said, okay, you're going to have to come back to me to the table.
Where
No.
was that man gone?
He pushed past me like this. I said no.
I don't know.
I've been shopping here for the last 2 weeks, I've never had to wear a mask. I said to him, there's no way you've done that. This has been going on for the last couple of weeks.
Well, I didn't see this long conversation. He said,
So
I just walked in, and that's what I'm saying. It all happened in about 2 seconds.
Right. So what's happened is, so he's gone through the barriers. I've stood in front of him while my manager, Ayla, is there also, witnessing. So I put my arms out like this and I've asked him, if you're not going to wear a mask, so I've done this to him. So I said to him, if you do not remove yourself, I've got no choice, you justify forcing me on the premises. He said he's not going nowhere. So I pushed him out through
Look
here.
for long conversation, it just happened in 2 seconds, isn't it?
Then he's got to about here, and then he's fighting me to get back into the store after I'm pushing him out of the store. We've come this way here, then he stumbled over here. I did not push him, not gentleman saying.
We've got it on film,
Yes, so have I.
Yeah.
That's why I recorded it. So he stumbled over this. I think what he's done is
we will speak to these people, and we've got
So
it
he
on
stumbled,
camera.
he stumbled onto the ground.
I don't mean to interrupt, but could I ask you to move this up to security just because often we're blocking the door?
So he stumbled here. You can see. I think pushing. So what's your on this anyway?
Well, the thing is,
Just see him
so
chucking it.
after
And he's
that,
older, Jen. He must be
obviously that's
16
taken
old.
place, the
And I just saw him
guy-
roughing the
and
bloke
then
over. And I say,
he-
decked over here.
the problem is,
I didn't
right?
see the-
No, hold on. The problem is, what everyone doesn't understand is that you're dealing with hidden disabilities, right? Now, the gentleman quite clearly shows signs of disabilities. Okay. Now he said, "Have you got a mask?" And he said no. And he went to come in. And then he said something about, well, can you go and get your mask? The guy just walked in. Now, under the COVID legislation, not wearing a mask is not actually a crime. It's a law. It's legislation. It's not a crime. They haven't. So that means he has no right to touch him because he has not committed a crime. Now, the guy has hidden disabilities. And the other problem here we have is that they want proof of your what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
So they want proof of why you don't need to wear a mask, which again you do not need to prove.
But, so the male
It is correct, isn't it?
the male
Thank
has
you.
said that he hasn't got any underlying health conditions.
That's who?
So the
Who
male
said he hasn't got any underlying
so
health
the male
conditions?
himself has told security that he hasn't got any.
When did he say that? He said no. He said I won't wear a mask. He said I haven't got a mask. I've got it all on here.
That's fine, no
I
worries.
think you've also got it on yours.
So he said he didn't have a.
got one. I said to him, is he exempt? He said no. And I asked him to go back to the table to get a mask. That's when he refused and carried on walking.
Right, okay, and then you put your hands on him to stop
He was
him.
at that point, so you don't
Yeah,
know
we
what's
were.
happening.
He was trying to push him
Right,
out.
here.
Where he
Can I
Can we take this away?
Can I just explain this further? So, obviously, Morrison's then Their current policy is that no entry.
Yeah, but their policies, company policies, don't supersede the law. You enforce the law. He's no different to me at the moment. He's just wearing a vis and I'm not.
Yeah, of course.
So he's not a police enforcement officer. You are. You enforce the law. He's following guidelines or company policy. Company policy doesn't supersede the law.
But because this is a licensed premises, the company
It still doesn't give him justification to physically assault someone that's been non-violent, i.e. physically or verbally. He was not being aggressive, that gentleman. He's an old man.
No, it's okay. I don't know. I literally just walked into this.
Can we just move this conversation just down here so it's out of the shop? Just so it's out of the
Are you alright coming with us?
Yeah.
Obviously, want you there.
We'll just take it a bit further down here. So.
Right, so obviously the law is, okay, I understand the whole Disability Act thing and that sort of thing.
You do understand the Disability Act?
I do.
So what do you understand from the Disability Act?
So what I understand is, at the moment, is that he's come in and he said that he hasn't got any underlying health conditions. I understand, so obviously
Not
because
being funny, the gentleman even looks at it. You can see he's not
that's
well.
fine. That's absolutely fine. Obviously what I need to then establish is because Morrison's policy is no entry, no mask, no entry, then that they can enforce it because they're
So how do they enforce it?
Sorry?
How do they enforce it?
Right,
Does he enforce it by putting his hands
He can,
on that
if
man
the male refuses, he can use force to withdraw the male from the shop.
to stop him coming in,
He
even
can-
though he hasn't committed a crime?
If he is asked the male to leave
Right.
and the male doesn't leave, he can use force to take that man out of the shop.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll see. Because he didn't commit a crime, he wasn't stealing
I
anything.
understand he's
He
not
should be
committed a
calling
crime.
you.
I understand he's not committed a crime.
You're the ones that
Has he
should be
left- has he
removing.
actually left now?
I don't know where
I
he's
understand
gone.
he's not committed a crime. I understand that, but this is false. So this is the store policy. Is that no mask, no entry. So therefore, security guard is well within his right
Okay.
to physically remove that person if they're not. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, maybe, but if that person has got a disability, then
Of course,
yeah.
but the person
so now,
disclosed that he hasn't got a
but
disability.
how do you know he hasn't?
So, but if that's what that person
Because he wasn't
disclosed-
acting quite rational, was he?
He didn't say that. He didn't say I haven't got a...
He says he didn't say
If the
that.
gentleman would have followed what I was asking him to do, if he would have turned around and said, yes, I am exempt, I would have asked you have an exemption card.
Right, and then
If
what?
he would have said, no, I do not have an exemption card, then like our bulletin says, we would have allowed him to carry on shopping.
Oh, you
in
know you're
future
saying-
to bring an exemption card.
Right, but
Right,
that's
well,
where you're
firstly,
wrong.
You don't have
You
to,
don't
wear a
have to
lanyard.
prove
You don't have to
exemption.
advertise your individual visibility.
okay.
And you're also not allowed to
Can
question what
you
his invisible
refresh
visibility
him that he
is.
doesn't
one's
have to
questioning
prove
medical
exemption?
condition.
The Equalities Act 2010, it's all stated there.
And like we're trying to explain to you, you're on private property, it's open to the
Yeah,
public.
but you're
That's
still
our policies.
providing a public
Our policies-
service.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly, but you're on private property.
Yeah, but
and these gentlemen
it
enforce
might
the law.
be, but you're
They're
still
the law.
providing,
Yes,
and
they are the
under
law,
the
but they're telling you that I'm within my right.
under
This
the
is what we're trying to get
Disability
across to you.
Discrimination Act, you are not, you don't have to ask for
It's
proof.
not, listen,
That's
I'm
fine.
not asking for proof. It's an exemption card.
So we've
That's
established.
proof.
Okay.
It's not proof.
It is
We're
proof.
not asking for any medical records.
No,
we're
that
not
is
asking
proof.
for
You're
any medical
asking him to
conditions.
prove. He doesn't have to.
Right,
He actually
so-
doesn't have to.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. I understand that he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to ask at all.
Right,
So-
can you just now say that to this gentleman?
policy-
He doesn't have to disclose his personal information that's private between him and his doctor.
Can you just-
It's
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to
expose
prove
that
an
to him.
exemption.
No. So what he needs to do, because obviously the store policy now is no mask, no entry. It's a bit of a grey area where I completely understand where you're coming from. But the store policy is that he's not allowed to enter the shop without wearing a mask, without being exempt. So
Yeah, and saying he's
unfortunately now-
exempt is
but
enough.
He has now said that he hasn't said that he's exempt. He said he's got no underlying health
No,
conditions.
right.
And that's
Did he
where
say
this
that? I didn't hear him
situation.
say
I don't know. I
That's
just
where
saw
this
them
situation-
chuckling
What
to
the
the ground.
exempt card does is to stop us from asking
Yeah, but
you again,
yeah,
which avoids
but
all
also
this
he doesn't have to
situation.
carry an
He doesn't have
exemption
to.
card.
No, he doesn't have to.
But if
Right,
he-
thank you.
okay,
But now,
Thank you.
That doesn't matter because in this situation he
Right,
said that
thank
he's
you.
not exempt.
No,
so
but he doesn't
therefore-
actually have to carry an exemption
No,
card.
he doesn't have to. But
Right.
that's irrelevant in this situation. Because
No, but he even said he does.
that's fine. But in this exact situation that I've come to deal with right now, he has stated that he does not have the underlying health condition.
I've got something here.
So-
I've got it on video. I don't know what
so
you've got on
therefore-
video,
I've
but
asked the gentleman in front of you while you was recording that when
He
I
said
asked him,
you
does he
asked
have a
him-
mask, he said no.
no.
And I asked him in front of while you're recording, which you can go back to, and you didn't tell me you was exempt, and he said no.
right.
This is what's led it up to this point.
Okay. Now, if he's got underlying issues, disabilities, And you've
then he should clarify
then
it.
got rough with him.
Then he
doesn't
should
look
clarify
well,
that.
How
The
can
minute
he?
I
If
said to
someone is
him, "Do you have
suffering
a
from
mask?"
hidden
he should therefore
disabilities
go,
and he's not
"I'm
thinking
exempt."
straight,
But
he didn't
hasn't
look
done
right.
that.
No, that's absolutely fine. No worries at all.
But
He
hasn't
really
done
didn't.
I thought, right, so no, he,
So that's the problem. That's where you shouldn't have touched him because he could have.
Okay.
He's not rational,
It's
and that's where
he's
he
not
should have
right.
called
You spoke to the gentleman. You
No,
can
I'm
see
afraid-
clearly.
No, he
has
went.
got
He's
issues.
gone.
I've got to come in. I've got to take
Everyone
stories
that comes
from
through
all
this door,
sides, okay?
we do not know who's got a disability, so we treat
don't need
everyone
proof.
equally the same.
Yeah, but
From the
you
minute
don't
they
need
walk through
proof.
that door.
And this is where my argument is that you're saying you have to show an exemption. No, you don't.
Yes.
Okay, no, you don't.
In this point,
Okay.
right at the moment,
If I say to you, I have an exemption, that is enough.
Okay. Well, I follow the company policy.
That is the company policy.
It's not. It's not Morrison's.
For Morrison.
Thank you.
He's
I follow
following
the Morrison's
Morrison's
company policy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And
here to
if
do,
someone
to
says
enforce their
that
policy.
they have an
It doesn't supersede
exemption,
the law, does it?
that is
The law
enough.
states you don't have to
You
wear a
don't
lanyard.
actually have to wear
disclose
it.
your personal private
Because it's
information.
actually down to
You
the
don't have to. I
person
mean,
whether they want to disclose it.
When it's within this is a private property of Morrison. So they
Yeah,
have
but
they
policies
have,
do not supersede the law. You know this. You're a police enforcer. You know you work for the police. Yeah, you know the law.
Yeah.
And any policies, company policies, or whatever, doesn't supersede the law. The law.
And the problem is,
The law
because,
states overrules, it
because
trumps
Morrison's is providing a public service, they still have to follow regulations, laws
they're
and
under
whatever.
licensed property, so Morrison's are allowed to put their own legislations in, and they are allowed to do this. Right now, the situation that I've come to deal with right now, right here, right now,
Was
is
that
the male
gentleman?
is to do with that gentleman. That gentleman has said that he hasn't got any underlying health conditions, and therefore,
Well, I don't think he actually asked him that.
due to well, I can go and ask him that as well.
Yeah, I don't know where he's
But
gone.
obviously, when I go and ask him that, I need him to speak for himself. No, I
Yeah, because
can't- I don't need-
he never stated that in any. Obviously, I don't see the first 2 seconds, but it literally was. I don't know how this massive conversation was
Yeah.
going on because I was walking in behind and I was like, it happened so quick and he ended up on the floor and I was like, what the hell's going on? Seriously, he's an old man, you know.
No, of course, I completely understand what you're saying. Obviously, I wasn't there when that happened, so I've got to go from what I've come in to speak to you about now. So what I've heard is the male has said that he hasn't got any underlying health conditions, so I need to deal with that going forward.
Yeah, you need to address that because he didn't say nothing of the sort in front of me.
That's fine. I
He never
will
stated
address
that.
that.
And
And
I
then
can look at him, I can see he's not
But
well.
I still
And
don't
then
believe that you.
Straight
Yeah,
away
but
to
I
anyone.
still don't believe you can put your hands on
You
him.
can see he's not well.
I don't believe that he can do
He's
that
not a well
because
man.
it wasn't reasonable
Down to
force.
store
It really
policy,
wasn't
you
reasonable.
can use force to withdraw somebody from the premises. If
But
the
that's if
person's
they
refusing
commit
to
a.
leave.
Yeah, okay,
No,
that's
if
fine.
they commit a crime,
Yeah, he was
Right.
not being verbally aggressive. He was not being
Okay.
physically aggressive. There was
wasn't.
none of that going on.
That
So
is
where
absolutely
does it justify the physical force to
Because-
someone
so if
who's not being
somebody-
I've asked him to
non-confrontational?
remove himself from the store
Non-confrontational.
because I've
You
asked
know,
him
he's
to
not a
remove
physical
himself.
threat to you. You're a big lump. He's an old man.
Okay. No one's ever a physical threat, but if I've asked you to leave the store and you're refusing to leave the store, then I'm allowed to use force to remove you from this store.
He was an old man.
And he was refusing.
He wasn't thinking rationally.
Either
You
way-
could see that.
Either way, that is what's happened now. Security
I don't even
are
think that
allowed
gentleman
to
actually knew
use-
what was going on, to be honest.
I don't think he did. He
That's
wasn't
okay.
with
He was
it.
more in shock and disbelief of what the hell was going on. He was not understanding what was going on.
Right.
Okay. Well,
I
he
just don't want to.
understood the questions that I was asking.
Well, he looked a bit loony
Okay,
to me.
so he was able to answer my questions directly with no hesitation. So at that point, I'm going to say he fully well knew what he was doing.
Okay. Well, I could walk in here, piss out my nut, stoned out my nut, and I'd still be able to answer
What I
you.
need to do then is
That
right
doesn't
now-
make me
right now,
reasonable-minded,
I need to
does
focus
it?
with the matter.
Right,
That's
so
what I
and
need to
then we go back to his disability then, doesn't it? If you've just said that, you can come in here stoned out your head and still answer me correctly.
Yeah, but he might
we go
have.
back to
There's
the
a
gentleman that has
reason why
disability.
he was
So
acting
he's
the
still
way he was.
answering me correctly.
Anyway, we're going round in circles. I'm done. I just wasn't happy with what I saw.
We just walked in, like I
And
say,
I'm also.
you know, he's getting very physical. I have done security for many years, and I didn't like what I saw. I thought, well, he was not given any justification to be that physical because the man was non-confrontational. There was no aggression
And
in
this
the
is
man.
why I say
you
you've
know?
only seen the end of it, you haven't seen
But
the
at the same time, I do not believe that
Come
they
towards
need
the end.
proof
Me and my
to
manager,
show an
Ayla,
exemption
were
because
standing
it
there
does
for a
not
good
state
5 minutes
anywhere,
before
even on the
we
government
went to
website, that they need proof of exemption. You
What I'm saying
don't,
is-
because that is a hidden disability. People do not need to prove it, and I think this is where the problem is as well.
It is a grey area. I do agree
It is
with
a
you.
grey
So,
area.
Unfortunately, at the moment, I'm here to deal with this situation.
No,
as
that's
occurred.
fine, and thank
So
you for
I need
your
to speak
patience.
to-
I don't know
speak
where
to
he's
the-
gone.
That's fine. I'll have a look around for the mail. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'll have a look.
I mean, none of that was said in front of my company. I didn't see him say any of that. He
And you know
didn't say,
what? Your
"I'm
thing's
not
going to
returned."
drip.
And
if it does, believe me, You have no idea how bad that stuff is. It will bleach
I've already
through.
got a stain.
Yeah,
somewhere on it.
they are really bad for you.
Just like security said, see, today it would be more of an educational thing to say to the man,
Well-
if he does have Okay, so I'm seeing.
I will, if I see him, I will talk to him. But I wasn't happy with how he was handled,
Okay.
and I'm not happy that you believe that they don't need to show that they have to show exemption because they don't.
Stops us from asking. If you walk in,
It might stop you. It might stop you, but they still don't need to prove it.
But this is where we're going to go back in circles.
Yeah, let's not bother. I just want to go.
It's our policy to ask you. So whether you say that
Yes,
the law
you're right.
is
You
higher or
have the
anything,
right to
it's a
ask.
company policy.
But
The
you
law
don't
is
have
not
the right to
our
ask for
policies.
proof.
They do not conduct
Yeah,
our
you can
policies.
ask if are you exempt. His
Okay.
reply should be yes, I am, and that's where the
Yeah.
conversation is. You don't have to say, can you prove your exemption? to
No,
me?"
you
Because it doesn't
don't.
have to by law.
But where we have a company policy in place.
No, that's fine. I'll be
okay,
writing to your
that would
company.
stand up in court or anywhere. 'Cause it's a legal policy.
So obviously, I just want to clear up today's situation that obviously you brought in on. So obviously, where the man has said today that he doesn't have any of those underlying health conditions.
I don't know if he said that.
Okay.
We're assuming he said that. He says he said that. I don't know if he did.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say
Obviously,
that.
I never heard him say
I'm
that.
only going on what exactly. I'm only going on what I saw.
Because what he said, what the male said that he said is, do you have a mask? And he said no.
Yeah.
And what the male said, you said then is, well, can you go and get a mask? And he said no, and he
Yeah.
walked in.
Okay.
Okay, he didn't say
I
he didn't have
understand.
any health conditions.
I asked him if he was exempt and he said no. And if you rewind your video to the
I'll have a
beginning,
look, yep.
it's on there as
That's
well.
Okay.
fine. So that's what I'm going off of now.
Okay.
So obviously, we'll just clear up this exact situation. Obviously, I know different situations will always have different end results and that sort of thing. So clearing up what has happened today, obviously, the male has stated, or supposedly has stated, that he doesn't have any underlying health conditions. Morrison Security are perfectly within their rights if that male is not leaving
Yep.
after they've requested to leave,
Okay.
to use force to remove that male from the
Okay.
premises.
All right.
So that's what we're going with today. So like I say, I'll go and find the male. I'll go and
Yeah,
have
I
a chat
don't
with
know
him
where
as
he
well.
is. I
That's
hope he's
fine.
all right. He was very shaken
Of
up,
course,
and
no,
like I
thank
said,
you.
he's an old man.
I
Quite
appreciate
clearly
your
an old
concern.
man.
I'm not funny. I don't justify any physical force in any way, means or matter. But that had been one of my family.
Yeah. No,
You know, I didn't like what I saw, and I don't know the gentleman. I haven't had a clue who he is, but I didn't like what I saw.
I completely understand where you're coming from. I will go and have a look for that mail, and then we'll get things sorted out.
Thank
We're
you.
here now. We'll
Thank
sort
you
it
for your
out.
patience.
Thank you for showing your concern. Are you shopping now?
No, I'm leaving.
You're
I'm gonna.
leaving,
Yeah, I
okay.
just saw it all
Okay,
kick off,
of
and I was
course.
thinking,
No,
what is
thank you
going
for
on?
stopping. Thank you for your concern. We'll get things sorted out.
All right. Thank you. Have a
Thank you
good
very much.
day.
You too. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.